I'm Charlie, and today on Munching Around Milwaukee, my guest is Taqwa Obaid.
Hi,
Taqwa,
Charlie. Hi, it's nice meeting you.
great to see you. Thanks for coming. So Taqwa is the chef owner of Taqwa's Bakery and Restaurant in Milwaukee. She opened her restaurant in during the pandemic, and
Correct.
it's a unique and successful and authentic Middle Eastern restaurant. She's also featured in not our, the Visit Milwaukee Cookbook, Milwaukee flavor.
Yes.
And we got a couple recipes in here. We might talk about those as we get into a little bit
Yes.
later. But this book is actually, if you're in Milwaukee, it's available at Boswell Books, but it's also available if you're online on the Visit Milwaukee website as a digital copy. You can just get any recipe from there.
That is correct.
Um,
Yes.
so first, I want to give you one of our little tote bags.
Thank
So
you.
when you really can't take all this stuff back in the tote bag, but
I
so
love it. Thank you.
when you're shopping at wherever you're going, you can
I'll
use that.
definitely will use it.
All
Yes.
right, good. All right, and so Takwa she brought us a lot of really good food. And I was telling her I went to the restaurant yesterday. You weren't there. I'm assuming was that with you were doing your school?
The school lunches.
All right, we'll talk about that.
Correct.
So they
Yeah.
do school lunches too. All right, so let's start with
Hummus.
this is hummus,
That is hummus. Yes.
and on top is
Um, Chickpeas, parsley, and a little bit of sauce. It's green pepper and jalapeno.
green pepper jalapeno. Okay, and this is
It's baba ghanoush made with eggplant, tahini sauce, and we just decorate it with sumac seasoning.
All right, and this is an Arabic salad. And what's in our
My
Arabic?
favorite Jerusalem salad. It's mixed with parsley, onions, tomatoes, and cucumber.
Okay, very healthy and fresh.
Yes.
You can smell it. All right, I know this is going to be something I really like. So, Taco, tell us what's in this little old platter
This
here.
is my amazing appetizers, or like for catering and gathering. It's as a finger food.
Uh huh.
We have the musakhan roll right here,
Okay.
which is made with a tortilla and chicken inside, a little bit of sumac and onions.
Okay. In the center.
We have the kibbe. It's a ground beef and filled with the ground beef and burgal.
Okay.
And we have also the veggie sambusa. It's mixed with peas, carrots, potatoes, and the sambusa roll.
Okay. So if that's not enough, oh,
Yes,
we got the mixed grill.
the mixed grill. It's a fresh and warm. It's all made from scratch. We have ground beef, chicken shish kebab, and a tenderloin kebab with a mix of veggies kebab too with the rice. And that's one of the famous dishes we have at the restaurant.
And that once you pass me the dessert, and we have dessert too.
And we have also the dessert.
So we have several different kinds of baklava.
Yes, we have the. Can I
Sure.
actually show that one probably? It's baklava filled with pistachios or walnuts, and also we have the one with the cream cheese,
Okay.
and that one's my favorite with the coffee.
All righty. So
Here I can.
I think we have this little something to tide us over. Um, so Dave, why don't you? Anything you want here?
Sure, they'll say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why don't you go ahead and
Try.
start with the mixed grill, and then Takwa will pass these over. So let's, as we're getting ready to go, I might just have a little of the salad. So you were born in Jordan,
Correct. I was born in Jordan.
and you're one of 14.
Yes.
You had to think
So-
there. You had to
so-
count in your head.
Siblings. Yes.
9 sisters and 4 brothers.
Correct.
Okay, so
That's
9
right.
sisters and 4 brothers. Nice, comfy, tidy, lots of togetherness in your family.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
So I grew up in a house where is a lot of cooking
Uh-huh.
at the house, and cooking means to me it's a gathering
Right.
because we have to cook all the time for a big family every single day.
Yeah, that's kind of what your food is, and good food is. It's a way to bring people together,
Together.
and it's just a commonality for Berkeley. So you moved to the United States in 1999
That is correct.
in Harrisonburg, Virginia, home of the James Madison Dukes
University, correct. Yeah.
Massanutten Ski Lodge,
Ski.
where I
Yeah.
used to ski there. So you were there for how many years?
Almost 13 years.
Okay, you're there for 13 years, and eventually you make your way here to Milwaukee.
Right. When I got married, we had to move to Milwaukee.
Okay, so you make your way here to Milwaukee, and you were and talk about your journey here, and eventually you get into the restaurant business, but that was not why you moved here.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. We grew up in like again we moved in 1999
Mm-hmm.
as an immigrant. We grew up in Virginia.
Uh-huh.
When I get married, we moved to Milwaukee, and I have noticed that we are missing some of the Middle Eastern food and taste. So I noticed that we don't have the taboon bread we make at home, which is normally we don't use silverware. We use bread to dip our food with every single thing.
Right.
For breakfast, lunch, and dinner, we use the bread. And I noticed that we have to drive an hour and a half to Chicago to buy the bread and then put it in the freezer, so it's not fresh and warm as we used to.
Right.
And I talked to my husband and I said, let's do something together. And that's when we decided to go and open a restaurant. I start from home, start selling the bread, and then we noticed that a lot of community grabbing for that bread.
Right.
And then we start looking for a place, and we find that old building used to be former Burger King.
Right.
And it was amazing to turn a fast food restaurant, an old fast food restaurant, into a warm hospitality, authentic Middle Eastern food where you can actually come, you and your family, and dine in and eat.
So I was
You can start.
dropped in for lunch yesterday,
Okay.
and I knew that this was an old Burger King,
Right.
but even if you're looking at it from the parking lot, you go, I guess I can see this. Yeah, I guess it could have been a Burger King at some point. And so the outside, you go inside, and there's
Different
it's
atmosphere.
very vibrant colors.
Yes.
It's there's not, the tables aren't scrunched together. There's room to move around. There's booths. There's tables. There's and what I liked was the open flame hearth where I guess that's where the bread is made.
That is for the bread. Yeah.
So it looks like a pizza oven, but it's I guess it's a little bit different, or is it actually a pizza oven?
It was a pizza oven, and we use the same actually, and we make the bread, and also we make the manakish, which is a dough made in the house, and then we top it with a ground beef or cheese or za'atar, the thyme seasoning with olive oil.
Well, that's what I had yesterday.
Yes.
It was a manatee, and there were 4 pieces about this big.
It's like a medium-sized pizza.
Yeah, and I'm supposed to eat that by myself. And it was just delicious. The flavors are spot on. The ground beef, there's a hint. You could the peppers were in there. There's onions in there. Just all kinds of interesting flavors. And they also had some falafel, which was I was talking before the show. It had a hint of heat as you go. Oh,
The jalapenos, yes.
right. And so there's some jalapenos in the falafel. That's just interesting. I would have to try that sometime. Would I make my really bad falafels?
Right.
So you start during the pandemic.
Correct.
So how was that?
It was difficult. A lot of people, they said wait, and they asked us to wait, or we didn't know, are we going to be able to open with everything is going on?
Right.
We're new to it. And then we decided to open on July 31st of 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when the city decided that will be like 50% capacity on the restaurants. So that was a quite challenge, but I cannot forget the support of Milwaukee community. I mean, it was big support, big understanding. If they can't dine in, they will take to go. But the restaurant for like I would say 3-4 months down the road, it was completely busy, like since we open until we close. And that's got us right away to the catering business, where we start doing weddings, meetings, engagement party, graduation party. So it was a quite challenge.
So talk a little bit about the catering business. I know that was that. Had you planned that, or was that just part of it? Just kind of happened organically.
Again, I came from a big family. I'm used to cook a lot.
Uh-huh.
I'm not used to small portions of food. Um, and I love cooking. I love cooking. I love to decorate the food. I love when I set me and my family to see like colorful of the food, plates, and so that's when I said, okay, let's get into that business where we people doing graduation, weddings, even like meetings. I don't like when I go to places and put like aluminum foil plates or paper plates. I like to see it like in a glass, like that, like family.
Well, ours are
Yes,
okay.
it's perfect. No, it's perfect.
I would say they're
But
really great
again,
shakes.
yeah, and I started doing catering for a lot of also hospitals, like when they have their meetings, or drug rep, they go around and they ask for food, and I'm just like, my food is healthy. It has a lot of options, where it's like meat, vegetarian, vegan, and I start introduce myself to a lot of drug rep or doctors or
Uh-huh.
offices. And that's when they start calling me to do catering, and I start doing it over and over and over again with them, because they have all the options they need. Also, I deliver the food, I take care of the food, and then I clean up after we finish the catering. So that was a plus for them to do. And we start doing from like a group of 15 up to 8 or 1,000 people.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. So I want to ask you about the schools, because I'm sure that's an offshoot of the catering. But what is the smokiness in the baba ganoush?
Because we do it on the grill.
Ah,
Yes.
it is fabulous. I mean,
Yes.
I've had
Very good.
Yes,
I've
thank
had
you.
baba ganoush, would put smoked paprika or something in it, but this is a
'Cause
level
you
above.
grill it. Yes, thank you. I appreciate it.
Mm.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about the school. So how did you get involved with the schools, and talk about the meals that you provide there and how that all came about?
Um, my kids actually they go to that school I start with.
Uh-huh.
And then they always complaining, and I had a really hard time every morning waking up, preparing school lunch for my kids, and mostly it turned out they're taking only snacks. And then they go from 7 o'clock in the morning, they come back home at 3:30, 4. They're hungry. They all they take with them is just snacks, or like, it's not, they don't like the school lunch.
Mm.
So when they have events at the school, I start, donating or providing them some plates of what we do. And that's when the school decided they wanted to go with a different vendor. And then they contacted me, and it was an amazing experience, different experience, because we have to watch calories, protein, and all that stuff. So I have to go through a lot of classes. But I mean, I love it. And now we're serving 1,000 students a day.
So you are the cafeteria
Vendor.
for
Yes, I'm the lunch lady.
the lunch lady.
I'm the lunch lady.
Do you have one of those white hats and the white apron?
I believe it or not, I do. I wear some funny stuff sometimes to get the kids excited about the food. But I remember when I started, we used to do 110 breakfast a day.
Uh-huh.
Now we're doing 900 a day.
Wow. Breakfast.
Breakfast.
And
And
you
then-
stay for lunch too.
Lunch we used to do around like we used to serve 200 to 300 students,
Uh-huh.
and now we pump the numbers to 1,000.
Wow.
I mean, sometimes 1,000 to 100, like 1,100, but depends on the menu and what they like. And we bought like American food, different cultural food, Middle Eastern food. I mean, but it's all made from scratch. It's home cooking food.
And healthy.
Yes.
No, that's great. So just the one school, and nobody else has reached out to you, say, "Well, we want you to do our school too," and then you go, "Oh my God, I can't."
Actually, right now I'm doing two building. It's the same school, but they have an elementary and middle school and a high school.
Oh, really?
Yes, and then also we're doing another school. It's in the north side of Milwaukee.
Okay.
Too. Yeah.
Wow, busy lady.
I mean, I love cooking. I'm a mother of two. My kids are growing.
Dave, take more.
Yeah.
Gosh, it's delicious. Everything
Oh,
is so
thank
good.
you. I appreciate
Oh,
it.
so good.
Yes.
You'll definitely be seeing us at your restaurant.
Thank you so much. Yes.
There's a lot of these. I want to take some of this. So let's talk about Taqwas.
Yes.
The building. It's not the building, but the restaurant and your menu. What is striking to me, and there's an I don't know. Do you remember the Cheel up in it was in Thiensville? Barkadale is from Nepal, and she had this restaurant, the Cheel. And what was interesting to me is that all of the names of the foods were the authentic name from Nepal, but she explained it in very detailed English for
Right, for us to
people like us.
understand, right.
And yours is the same way. All your names of your dishes are in both in
In Arabic, yes.
Arabic and in I guess from Jordan or where.
Jordan, right.
Okay, so it's a Jordanian name, the Arabic name, but explained for
Right.
for us Anglos.
Yeah. When we decided to make the menu, I mean, the idea of taqwas, it's to spread culture and get people to meet together with different background, Muslim and non-Muslim, Arab and non-Arab, into that restaurant. Decoration came. Actually, I'm originally from Palestine, and I was born in Jordan. My husband is Jordanian, and then we mixed both culture together. So where we bought, which is similar to the same menu. When we decided to put the name, I told them like, let's roll out everything culture. Let's put it as is, and then we'll explain what is. For example, when we decide to do musakhan roll or musakhan on the menu, nobody will know what musakhan is. We explain what it is, but it's a very famous dish in Palestine where is taboon bread, homemade bread, topped with onions and lemon and sumac.
Right.
And people was like, are you gonna put this in the menu? Are you sure? People, they're not gonna like it. And also we put the grape leaves. A lot of people, they're not familiar with the grape leaves, which is, we call it dawali. And it's like a grape leaf filled with, it's a vegetarian dish filled with rice, parsley, tomatoes, onions, garlic. And, we roll it, and it takes like 4 hours to make it. And it's not an easy dish to make. And people was like, are you sure you want to put this into the menu? And I was like, yes, we need to let people know what we eat.
Right.
And it's very, I was very amazed on how many non-Arab, they ask for musakhan and the grape leaves, and they actually loved it.
Yeah.
And it's one of my top seller items.
Wow. The food I had yesterday was just delicious, and I don't care what culture you're from.
Right.
It's good food. It's tasty. And it is a little different, but it's I brought it back to my friend Tom, quarter of the piece, and he said, "Oh, what's the pizza?" I said, "No, it's not.
It's not a pizza. They call it pizza, correct?
It looks like a pizza when
Yes.
it's cut, but it was not. And the bread was just kind of airy and just it was delicious. And so you have a series. You have some of the the stuff that people know, the moussaka and I'm not moussaka, the baba ghanoush and the hummus, and falafel. But the other things. So talk about some of the other things from your combined cultures that have made it onto the menu that people have been drawn to, that say this stuff is great.
Yeah, I mean, every single thing in the menu, I noticed people they just like it.
Yeah.
Because it was different. They like the idea of when they come and they see us making it on the oven, wood grill, oven, and they see how we make the bread or the manakish or the fatire. I mean, they see the fire in front of them. Um, the inside of the restaurant too, we made it as if you notice, there's an area like a tent.
Right.
Yes. So that's when we do a lot of catering too there inside. A private event too. I mean, we can close the restaurant for a private event if people they like the decoration. Um, people they come and take pictures there too. Um, the food when we put it all together, I mean, a lot of people they ask for the mixed grill because it has the option of three kind of meat.
Right.
So they will experience what kind of meat and how we season the meat. Um, falafel and hummus, it's always the best sellers because people will know the hummus and the falafel and the baba ganoush. Um, the grape leaves and the other stuff on the menu also they ask for it. We're really good at making the from scratch the sweets, the baklava.
So the baklava is all made from scratch.
From scratch.
I haven't had any yet, but I will be having
Yeah.
some.
We come every morning and we do like big trays and thanks God and thank you to our community. It all gets sold out like every single day.
So what's your normal hour? If you're in there making baklava desserts in the morning, and then you're going to the school, and then you're open for dinner, what's your
Okay.
day look like?
Well, I work 7 days a week, Charlie.
Mhm.
Again, I have 2 kids. When I came to Milwaukee, I had the option whether to work for someone or
Right.
do my own business and grow up.
Sure.
Because again, I have 2 kids. Everything is getting expensive in life, so I decided to work. I wake up every morning at 4 a.m. I'm a morning person.
Eeks.
And I go to bed around 8, 9, 9:30 at the most. Like 9:30 will be late for me.
Mhm.
So, but that's my schedule every single day. I wake up, I go to the school, prep everything with my team, and then I leave to wake up my kids, get them ready for school, drop them off at the school, and then go back to the restaurant, check in the restaurant, see what we need to do. I put the plan. If there's seasoning I have to make or like recipes I have to make, secret recipes, I make it like in a special place where before my employees come. And I go back to the school and then go back to the restaurant. But that's my schedule.
Jeez. And you open 7 days?
7 days a week.
Jesus.
Yes.
Wow.
Restaurant open from 10 o'clock until 9.
And there was a gentleman that was doing the bread. Was that your husband?
That's my husband.
Okay.
Yes.
He was very nice, waved and said, hello, how you doing?
Yes.
And he was back there just making the bread and, cooking everything. So it was, we could just tell he looks like he loves it.
He loves it.
And the server I had, she's from Puerto Rico.
Yes.
And I'm going to Puerto Rico in another week or so.
That's
So I
nice.
talked to her a little bit about that.
Oh,
And, so it was a very nice experience, very pleasant. So I did want to talk to you about, some of the, do you work with, have you done collaborations with, and have you been involved with some of the other chefs in town and done some events and that stuff?
I do. I got invited to the farmer market.
Fondi?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
A couple of times.
That's
I
Greg
worked
Leone's
with,
favorite one.
Yeah, when we did the Visit Milwaukee Cookbook, and that was an honor for me to introduce 2 recipes on this book. That was really an honor for me to do that. I met some of the chefs, and I met them also through the schools of the government do a lot of meetings and events where I go and meet some food director there and actually share some recipes, and so that was fun and very impressive. Makloba.
Makluba is,
Makluba.
talk to me about that.
Makloba is an upside down dish.
Okay.
That's in yes. In Palestine, it's one of the famous dishes you do mostly on Fridays. We
Uh-huh.
do it where we get the meat or the chicken in the bottom.
Right.
We top it with veggies like eggplant, cauliflower, potatoes,
Mhm.
jalapeno, garlic, tomatoes, and then we add rice on top of it. We cook it in the stove for like between 20 to 40 minutes, depends on how many we're making. And then when it's finished, we flip the pot
Mm-hmm.
upside down, and then
So
we
the
take
meat's
it
on top.
It'll be stuck out. So you'll have the rice on the bottom, veggie in the middle, and then the chicken or the meat in the top.
Well, it looks fabulous.
And
I saw that when the book first came out, and I said, "Oh, I want to do that." I looked so.
it's amazing. It's a very amazing dish. You can request it if you have a group of 5 or more at the restaurant. We'll be more than happy to make it.
Ooh.
Yeah. So we'll make it at the restaurant. It's not in our menu, but we'll make it.
Uh-huh.
I do it a lot of big gathering and
Mhm.
events with Muslim Women Coalition. We do a lot of events for them. They always cater through us, and we are like number one caterer for them. We start working with Market and UWM.
Uh-huh.
Also, we cater for their events as well.
Yeah, it's the food is fabulous. I mean the breadth of what you brought here today is unbelievable. I really appreciate it. Dave's giving a thumbs up to the baklava.
Very
I'm about to have one in just a minute. Anything else before we take off? And you are so busy, and you're part of the community. You're you're a great role model for everybody who's an entrepreneur.
Thank you.
I got,
appreciate it.
you're working in the schools, you're catering, you got your restaurant that's open 7 days a week, and then you find time to sleep, 6 or 7 hours
Correct. Yes.
with raising 2 kids.
I mean, it's. I wanted to say first, thank you for inviting me
Sure.
here. It was an honor meeting you. It was an honor to come here and actually.
Dave, have
show
you ever heard
guys-
that? It's an honor to meet me.
all the time, Charlie.
Oh, okay, just checking. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. And also, I invite everyone watching us to come and try our food at the restaurant and let us know how we're doing. And spread the word.
That's easy in, easy out. It's right off of at 43, and it's right up. If you're coming up from the airport, it's only about a mile up. And it's plenty of parking. I can tell you that. Because At Home doesn't have a lot of people going to the store there. They got this huge parking lot, but just fabulous. And thanks so much for this is food. I tried not to eat as much as I'm going to turn this around. There's so much food here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
It was a pleasure meeting you.
It was.
I loved going to the restaurant, and I think we should go, Dave, and we'll
Schedule
get
a
bunch
trip.
of people. Yeah, and
I think
make
it-
the
Please, anytime.
Mallorca.
Yes.
What's it called?
Makloba.
Makluba. Okay.
Makloba.
So I stumped
Yeah. Or to remember it, it's just like we call it upside down dish.
it. The upside down dish.
Upside.
Do we have the upside down dish
No.
over here?
the? Yeah.
Thanks so much for supporting Munching Around Milwaukee.
Thank you.
Each week we talk to one of our local chefs, restaurateurs, foodies, or food influencers about the great, vibrant food scene here we have in Milwaukee.
Thank you, Charlie.
Thank you. And
Appreciate it.
so until next time. Oh, here comes Tom, late to the party. All right. See you next time.
Thank you.